Tonight's I-Team report, the block experiment. Now, realistically, no city can afford to have a cop on every corner. But if there were, would you be any safer?
ABC7 investigative reporter Chuck Gowdy has learned that it is happening on one very violent South Side block.
It is, Ron and Kathy. Over the summer, the I-Team received tips that a Chicago police squad car had been parked on the same street corner all day, every day, for months. It was suggested to us police might have been guarding some well-connected resident of that block in the Woodlawn neighborhood, but it appears it is not a clout-heavy VIP, rather part of the block experiment. 8 miles from the Loop, in a section of Chicago as violent as any other. On one street,
they were ground zero for a number of gang conflicts.
Sits a Chicago police officer in a single marked vehicle. This is South Drexel between 65th and 66th. And since late May, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, there has been a manned police car on this block, put here after a surge in calls for help to 911.
Multiple incidences of public violence, multiple shootings, multiple gang conflicts, multiple imminent gang confrontations. So far, it's been success. There's been a measurable decrease in public violence, a measurable decrease in crime and calls for service.
Police say there has been a 45% reduction in violent crime on that block of Drexel.
And I've had almost universal praise by the residents.
Some residents of other blocks in Woodlawn are not as happy.
I don't know why a police car would be just stationary in one place when we need policemen everywhere, especially on the west side of Cottage Grove.
Holding hands together, Lord.
About a mile from Drexel, Lena Cooper joined other peace activists at this recent prayer vigil near 62nd and Rhodes, where gang shootings and killings are common.
I think the police are doing the best that they can, and we as community are just trying to show support as they go out to do their jobs.
On various days and times when we watched the block experiment from a distance, not once did we see an officer leave their vehicle. Some talked on their phone, others read the paper. Commander Evans says that is not the intent.
They're not expected to be scarecrows. They're expected to engage in aggressive policing. Even though they're in a fixed location, they're expected to do street stops, make arrests, perform the whole gamut of law enforcement duties.
How you doing, sir? Indeed, when I-Team cameras were obvious, police did get out of the vehicle, walked Drexel Boulevard, and engaged the residents.
Let us stop this violence.
A few days after this vigil near 62nd and Rhodes, police expanded their block experiment, putting fixed post officers in cars at 62nd and Rhodes and 2 other sites in the 3rd Police District. Tonight, the question remains, does this simply push crime somewhere else?
Maybe it does happen. We all know crime gets displaced in some kind of way and fashion, but in terms of that location, in terms of the initiatives at that location, there's been no indications that placing a car there has displaced crime to another location.
In the 3rd District, Commander Evans says there are 25 to 30 active gang factions present and at least 8 serious ongoing conflicts between them. But that isn't uncommon in certain Chicago neighborhoods, and Evans says other districts are starting modified block experiments of their own in an effort to slow the city murder rate that this week surpassed all of last year. In some places, it's desperate times.
Yeah, it really is. Thanks, Chuck.